So E&G's center lock console vault that I've got here with me is a pretty creative and cool way to protect all of your valuables, whether it's electronics, some cash, or even a truck gun. And this is going to fit inside of that 2015 and newer F150 if you have the flow-through console. Now this comes in just shy of $300, but trust me, you are getting what you pay for here, and you don't want to skimp out on the quality of any safe. Install here is very easy. There is some very minor drilling, but I promise anybody can do it. So I'm giving this a very soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on my patented difficulty meter, and you should be able to get this installed and locked up in about 30 minutes. Now, first things first, a safe that can be broken into easily is obviously kind of useless. And like I said, you're definitely getting what you pay for here. This vault is a completely welded and enclosed box, and it's made of 12 gauge steel, so it's very thick. The hinges on the door itself are usually the weak points on any safe. These hinges here are recessed and covered, so they cannot be pried at, which is a huge bonus. And the locking component for the door itself is fully welded to the door. Now, there is also a built-in latch here to make sure the door is extra secure, which is a nice touch. And you can actually set your own combination, or you can use this specially made key with this pick-proof lock. In short, E&G markets this as an actual gun safe for your truck, so you know you're getting some quality here. And as far as storage goes, there is definitely plenty of room in here, as you can see. I would definitely say you could easily fit any full-size handgun like a 1911, a Glock 20 series, and if you're really over the top, well, you could probably squeeze that big old K-frame revolver of yours in there too. I like that part of this safe still retains your original console access with a removable tray, so you're getting that same ease of access you'd normally enjoy. This is nice because you can keep your simple things here like keys or spare change or your phone. You don't have to lock it in the box. And as far as removing things goes, this safe does bolt directly to the console with the bottom here and the included plate. So it's safe to say that this is not going anywhere unless you want it to. Now again, at around $300, this is not exactly a cheap investment, I get that. But if you want to keep things safe and they're worth that kind of money to you and you're watching this video, well, then the price of this vault is definitely worth it in my humble opinion. Now, without further ado, this install is again pretty straightforward. Again, very easy drilling. Anybody can do it, I promise. I'm actually going to show you how to do it, so this gets a very soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Now, we're actually going to head over to our install bay, and I'm going to show you guys how to get this thing bolted on, and I'm going to show you how to use the combination and the key and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, starting this install, you're actually going to be working in the back seat here. We're going to go ahead and remove our rear cup holder so we can expose some bolts that we need to remove. You don't need any tools to pull this thing up. Just be a little bit careful because they are plastic clips. Okay, with our plastic cup holder removed, it exposed all the hardware that we need to get through back here. You'll have these 2 7mm socket head bolts that you need to pull out, and you're going to remove your ventilation system and these power plugs. With those 2 7mm bolts removed, you can now pull your panel out. Be very careful when you do that because once you remove it from the console, you want to disconnect all the electrical connections. Okay, now pulling all the electrical connections can be a little bit of a pain. To make it easier, we're going to go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver so we can pry some of the little plastic retainers keeping some of these connections to our plate. All right, once you've removed the plate and all those electrical connections, you're going to want to move your seats forward and you're going to expose 2 bolts on either side of the center console. These are the lower retaining bolts for the console itself. It's going to be a 10mm socket. All right, with everything removed in the back seats, it's time for us to move up to the front seats, and this is where the fun part starts. We actually get to start installing our box here. And I want to show you and explain how things work real quick before we go ahead and do this. You have this bottom mounting plate that's included with the kit. That's why we removed everything back here, because we're going to actually slide this plate in underneath the console. It's going to allow us to secure our box inside the console using the provided hardware. Now, this is also the hardest part of the install. You're just going to have to place the box inside, and you're going to drill 4 holes using these holes as your guide. Trust me, it's really simple. I'm going to start out with a 1/4 inch bit. We're going to move it to a 3/8 inch bit. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put our box in our console. It's a pretty tight fit, so you want to make sure you orient it so that the box itself is facing the passenger side. Slide it in like so. Just be very careful of your plastic trim. Kind of slide it back this way, and there you go. All right, now once you have your box installed, you're going to go ahead and open up your door here, and we're going to go ahead and drill through the bottom of the console using our 4 holes inside the box as a guide. All right, we're going to go ahead and start out with a 1/4 inch bit, and after we've drilled some pilot holes, we're going to move up to a 3/8 inch bit. All right, now that we drilled our pilot holes with our 1/4 inch bit, we're gonna move up to our 3/8 inch bit, and this is gonna give us enough space to put the bolts in to secure our box down. All right, now that our console vault is actually seated inside the console itself, it's time for us to get our securing bracket underneath the console, which is why we removed those 2 10mm bolts earlier. So you're gonna wanna take a pry bar, at least a foot, 1.5 will do you. Go ahead and put it underneath the bottom of the console, lift up, and slide your bracket in. Now you'll see there's some fins back here. You wanna line it up with the second to left fin with the legs of the bracket facing up. All right, with our bracket in place and our holes lined up here through the console, the next step is installing the supplied hardware. So you're gonna set up this 11mm head bolt with the locking washer and the flat washer. And you're just gonna go ahead and hand tighten those. Then once you have those hand tight, you're gonna wanna get a pretty long extension so you can reach far down in there, tighten everything down, you should be good to go. Okay, now our box is secured into our truck. It's definitely not going anywhere unless you want it to. The last steps here are going to be putting in our removable tray if you want to, which as you can see fits in the original spot just like it used to. And then we also have this really nice little foam pad here that you can stick underneath on the bottom of the safe. That'll cover up those nuts and bolts, make sure nothing you put in there gets scratched. All right, now with those 2 items inserted here, we're actually done with our install. You can go ahead and close this guy up, and you're going to use the provided key to function the lock here if you want to. You can also set your own combination if you want to. Setting the combination is easy. We're not going to do it right now, but all you have to do is hold the reset button and turn these dials to your desired 3-number combination, let go, and your combo is set. If you ever forget your combination, go ahead and take your key. You can place it in, leave it in the unlock position, hold the reset button, and turn your dials until you feel them stop. Once they stop, you can pull the key out. That's going to show you what your original combination was. All right, now that we have our lock set and our console's all good to go, we're going to go ahead and reconnect everything back here. Alright, so with all of our electrical connections and all of our bolts reinstalled in our console, the last step is putting in our rear cup holder. Alright, and with that cup holder installed, that actually wraps up our entire install. You are now the proud owner of one of the coolest console vaults that you can currently get for your F-150. I'm Travis, thanks for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.